Hi, I'm Tony Fleming, and this is Fleming's Ultimate Garage. Hey everybody, thanks for joining us on today's video. Listen, I'm a little embarrassed to talk about this car. The reason why is just reading the window sticker on here, because I like to review that first since I don't know anything about cars anyway, but this helps me remember all this stuff. But it said 15,000, almost 16,000 original miles on it, which is not true, because I've been driving it. I've been driving it every day. It does have 17,000 miles on it right now for an 09. Okay? I'm not embarrassed about that. A 4-year-old car with 17,000 miles on it. I mean, seriously? But this car is so nice to drive. I had no idea when we traded it in that it was going to be that spectacular car. Effortless power, awesome transmission with paddle shifters on it as well, and stunning good looks. Everybody seems to say that the coupes are better looking than the convertibles. As we walk around this car and we look at some of the details, first off, we'll look at the details which give you the R version over the regular XK, and secondly, we'll look at the coupe styling, and it is really just so cool, some of the stuff that goes on in this car. All right, so we've got the hood vents with the call-outs here for supercharged. You know what? This British Racing Green paint, look how nicely done it is. This is high-end paint. I was a little surprised for a manufacturer's paint job that you can read what time it is, all in here, and they do a great job. HID headlights. These headlights are so cool. As you turn the wheel, the headlights rotate as well. You're going around the corner and lights up this whole area all around over here. It is bad A. The mesh grille for the R models, down here and here and here. Driving lights down here. Turn signals. Okay, then we get to like these giant wheels and tires. 19-inch wheels. It's got the R here. I don't know if you can get a picture of that, but the spoke is kind of covering up. Give us a call out for that. Brembo makes these brakes, and the reason the wheels are 19s and not 18s is because 18s will not fit on this car, because it has so much brake system in here, from the big rotor to the giant caliper. An 18-inch wheel is too close to the caliper to be comfortable, so they come standard with 19-inch wheels on it. Not 19 inches for looks, 19 inches because the brakes are so big. That's pretty cool. Independent rear suspension. Big brakes in the back as well, so you get the 4-wheel disc brakes, and a chassis that is just so tight and so solid. It is really nice. But I want to pop the hood for you because I want you to see the exciting part of what makes the XK the R version. They do such a nice job tidying up the details in here. All these little covers come right off so you can get to everything that you need. But that's part of the fit and finish. Like, you may never open this hood ever again to show somebody. But underneath this nice cover right here is a supercharger, a beautiful aluminum block, aluminum head V8, making well over 400 horsepower, on its way to 500 horsepower, and they even sell a little pulley upgrade for it, which is an easy install for another 25 horsepower, just for a tiny little bolt-on part. Free flow exhaust system, but this has intercoolers in the front. So there's a couple modifications if you ever wanted a lot of power that they sell for these cars, because they can easily make way more power. Which is kind of cool, because that means that it's a very under-stressed car, and that's the way you want to buy a high-performance car like this. It's not all stressed out, making the maximum power it can make all the time. This makes the minimum power that it can make, and a couple small adjustments, again, bring you a lot more power. So, a couple cool things you should be looking for, because you're buying a collector car like this, or you're buying a high-end exotic. You want to make sure A, it hasn't been crashed, B, that has original paint on it. We've metered the car, it does. We got it from the original owner. Little other call-out things like the original VIN number is still right here. It's right there. It's right here on the dash. The original decals for a couple of things are in here. Things that you can't buy afterwards. So that means that those original things are still on there, which is good, because if your car was in an accident, they would have to replace those items. That's a nice feature there. Okay. All right, so let's take a walk to the back of the car for a second, because the back of the car on here is as equally beautiful, I think, as the front of it is. So you got the R call out here with the quad exhaust, right? Okay, and then this little bit of chrome trim with these wraparound taillights. Look how far these taillights go into the quarter with these bulges right here. It's just so hot. Okay, so this is really cool, but this is the part I love so much about this car. Check this out. How effing beautiful is that? Look at that, man. These chrome rub strips are in here. Okay, got your DVD player right there. If you need to get to the spare tire, super easy to get to. This one's never been on the ground. This is just awesome. I love this. This is just, for me, like, this is so a la, 70s vintage E-Type, with this great big opening in here. Not that you need a station wagon or whatever, but the fact of the matter is you can haul some stuff in this car if you had to. People can actually sit in the back seat if you wanted them to. It's a very functional car, not to mention super, super fast. Okay, let's go check out the inside and see what all the hoopla is about. We are now in the inside of the Jaguar. The Jaguar. Okay, this is kind of cool because you can do a couple different things. It's got cup holders right here. It's got an iPod connector here, USB here. I think you have to have the modules to make sure all this works. And then they have a little tiny holder here, and I don't know if that's for a SIM card or for, oh, that's for the factory phone. That's kind of cool. Okay, and then you can also cover that up if you don't want it in there. This is keyless go, okay? So you just leave this in your pocket, okay? And you don't ever have to keep the keys to push things in and to start stuff. You've got 10 different ways to do the seats. They're heated, power, gazillion different, but to start the car, and when it first makes that startup growl, it's fabulous. As a matter of fact, I'll shut it off and start it up for you when we go to hear the exhaust. The dashboard is awesome. It's really very 3D, very nice. Got 180 mile an hour speedometer, 7,000 RPM tach. And this system right here is really very easy and very to use. Like very easy climate control, takes you right to it. You pick where you want your heating and air conditioning to come from. Make it auto if you want. Then to go back to the screen, you go to audio here. All your stuff's set as far as the stations and what have you. Then you can change anything you like to in there. All right. If you want to, you just put it in drive and go for a drive. Or if you want, you can then put it over here in sport, and you got these paddles here. The paddles work on drive and in sport, but if you leave it in sport, the car will only shift up or down as you do this. So there's a plus over here to upshift, a minus over here to downshift, and that'll help you remember if you're downshifting into the corner and you want to accelerate, but the power is effortless. The shifts are super quick, and it just rolls down the road and makes this awesome, awesome growl. Some great stuff here on the steering wheel as well. So you have things like changing the radio controls, heating and air conditioning, cruise control, just stuff like that. Just really nice. And if you want to do quick stuff, you can always just bump the fan up like this. They've made it so that if you want to get to some things that are important and you don't have to push any buttons, they're very easy to get to. Okay? All right, so let me, if I could, I want to start it up again for you so you can hear that initial startup growl. For a car that stickers for almost $100,000, you're going to expect some great things. We walked around, we looked at some awesome stuff like the styling, the interior, incredible drivetrain and power. Little stuff like that you might not have noticed. This has a vacuum operated exhaust system. So under wide open throttle, it completely opens up the back muffler to make it more free flow, better sounding, and more power. We talked about the big brakes, talked about great factory paint. And you know what? Just looking at the car alone, the styling is enough. To buy the cars at this level, this is the way you should be buying an exotic car. Super low miles. We know the original history of the car. We know the one owner. We know, first off, that these cars have soldiered on in styling for years and years, because you can look at the 90s vintage ones and they still look great. And I don't know what else to tell you other than this 09 XKR is an awesome, awesome buy. Anyway, call us 301-816-1000 and we'll tell you all about it.